Hello guys and welcome to Pundit Time Premier League Profiles with me John.
And me Rupert.
So we were going to do Merseyside, instead we've gone over to London and done the Chelsea QPR. Reason being, Liverpool on the brink of signing Balotelli, 16 mil, that's interesting news, but we thought, there might be some more change in Liverpool. Everton, I'm unsure, but again, they might make some more signings. And Chelsea seems to be pretty much done with their summer. As you can see by this page, they've had a pretty busy summer. And also QPR, might as well do them. Gone up, didn't watch too much of the Championship.
No, not really, but I suppose there's some form of rivalry.
There is.
Claim from it.
There is some form of rivalry. So we'll kick-start with Chelsea. Last season, Rupert, hit me.
Well, as you've said throughout the whole season, if you look at any club, third in the Premier League, yes please, but played poor. It was a poor season overall, I think. The stats will beg to differ, but poor season overall, but coming third.
Yeah.
Which is kind of frightening, really, because if they play well, improve on that season, then yeah.
Well, yeah, we've just seen the Burnley game, and I'm not going to go too much off it, but the Burnley game in the first half showed that we hopefully are going to be more attacking and offensive this season, which is what we lacked last season. Looking into it, 27 goals against, that's the lowest in the league by far. I think by about 10, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember specifically, but yeah, I don't think it's only in the 20s anyway.
No. And then goals for, that was where we lacked, almost 40 behind City and Liverpool. So it was that goal scorer.
No, it was exactly 40 behind Liverpool, wasn't it? Because City got 102 and Liverpool 101, weren't they?
Oh, it's really poor maths by you, but we'll accept that.
I apologise.
Apology denied. So it's with Chelsea, I think that with an improved strikers for this season, we will get more goals. And I think also we've improved our defence. Felipe Luis just gives us more depth. And when you've got Azpilicueta, Cahill, Terrell performing out their skins, Courtois in goal, and we're looking forward to a good season. Looking at the home and away form as well, our away form wasn't terrific really last season, but we picked up points still.
Yeah, yeah, but it's not a huge difference. 14 points between home form and away form, so there's not a huge margin. Like when we go into QPR, you'll see the
incredible
shocking
margins.
Distance. Yeah,
incredible margins.
But then there's also goal difference wasn't great away either.
And then boom, 6-0 against Arsenal. What a match that was.
Yeah,
fantastic performance, and especially like we said, Chelsea weren't offensive at all. And when we look at the scores from last season, there was not really any big scores. But then Arsenal we just played out of our skins. I nearly exploded watching that match. I came close to explosion.
I remember actually because I was at uni. I missed the first half. Maybe not the first half, but I came in my mate's room at 4-0. He was an Arsenal fan, and he was literally lying on the floor, thinking, "What the fuck?" Yeah. I remember coming in and being like, "Okay." I was thinking maybe 1-0 Arsenal because at the time I kind of wanted Chelsea to lose that game because I've always had a little soft spot for Arsenal. And yeah, wow, I was I like Chelsea. Don't get me wrong, I like them a lot. I think they've got a great squad. But no, went in there thinking, okay, yeah,
6-0.
Don't know what to say now.
6-0. All right, now we'll go on to some of the players. Obviously, the man in the middle there, Eden Hazard, shone in the Premier League last season. He wasn't the best. He was nominated for PFA Player of the Year, won PFA Young Player of the Year, won Chelsea's Player of the Season. He's an amazing player, and it's his creativity, he's just everything.
Well, he's still only 23 as well, isn't he? That's another thing you've got to consider.
Bale age.
Very young, yeah, exactly. Well, Bale's 24 when he went for 85 million.
Exactly, yeah.
Who knows what, another season under his belt, if they win it. Who knows what he can achieve. He's got the number 10 shirt as well now.
Yeah, he got the number 10, I like that.
Role to prove.
I like that big time. But the thing about Hazard, which I love as well, is he's got that. I find that certain players, such as Messi, Suarez, even some players that aren't necessarily amazing, such as... I'll probably won't be able to think of an example now. Januzaj, who's not necessarily well established, they've got this air about them when they're on the ball. And
yeah.
They look like they can do anything. They can take on players, they can have a shot, they can pass the... He's got that.
Yeah, it's just flair, isn't it? You see him, you're thinking, what's he going to do? He's dangerous, he can do this, he can do that. It's exciting to watch as well as... Yeah. I'm sure it is for the other players to play with him.
Exactly, yeah.
Or for a manager to manage.
Yeah, I know, I completely agree. And so he's also top goal scorer, top assists. I've also put in there, for me, John Terry is my player of the season. Now, it was tight. Hazard was par with me, but I just think that John Terry did deserve a shout. I said this earlier to Rupert. Pardon me. John Terry is one of those players that, because of the press he's got, I really feel he doesn't get the credit he deserves as a defender. Last season, he was immaculate to me. I watched his games. I used to be a defender myself, so I do watch the defence quite a lot, and I just thought he was so good. And I think any other defender did what he did last season. You know, like we said, letting the least amount of goals, plus he was out for parts of the season. I just think exceptional player.
Well, yeah, I just think as a player as well, it's just his passion. I always compare players' passion. Like I think when we were talking in the City United episode, saying how company's passionate, but we were comparing that to John Terry, and I'll never forget. I think it was for England. That diving in front of the ball.
Oh, lovely!
What a hero, man!
Was it? They went to block a shot. It got deflected by a different player who was already on the floor, wasn't he? And he just
all the strength mustered up in him, and he just let himself that
grovelled.
Extra.
Yeah. His cheek, spastic face. Oh, it's hit me. Love it.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
Dedication.
My pundit pick was actually Eden Hazard. I mean, the stats are right there, and I just think he's a great player. And strangely enough, that's the position I used to play in, sort of left mid.
Yeah.
Position. So again, I love watching that position as well, and obviously Robin being my favourite player. I just love wingers are the ones for me, and I just thought he was an outstanding winger.
He really was. And just going to buys. So biggest buy was Willian, 30 mil. Sensational player. I love Willian.
Yeah,
love him. And he's for me, he's one of those players that is. Actually, I'm not going to go on it too much because we're going to cover it in the weaknesses. But I really think that he might be wasted a bit now at Chelsea. I think he was having such a good season last season, and he got completely buzzkilled by Schürrle having an outstanding World Cup.
Yeah, well, I remember saying everyone hated Willian. All Chelsea fans I spoke to when Willian first joined for the first few games, like, what? And then it's after that finesse shot from like outside the box. Everyone's like, oh, okay, we've got a good player here. And then he just, he came alive. He tracks back. Mourinho loves him.
Yeah.
And he's the full package. He does everything you
His
want him to do.
energy
is
insane. If you watch Willian when he goes on the pitch, he runs like a dog for the whole 90 minutes. He's not just got the legs like Henderson does. He's got the ferocity of Alexis Sanchez, plus like the legs of Henderson. And he just goes all game. I love him.
Another reason I love him is that it's the only word or / name I can say in a Welsh accent.
Willian.
That's all I do. Like when I'm in Swansea and someone's picture, like, can you do a Welsh accent? I'll just go, Willian. So that's another positive for me.
Yeah, positives all around there. Juan Mata going to United, 37.5. No one could understand the buy at the time. People were saying, well, the reason why the buy's there is because we don't have to play United again for the rest of the season, and they play all the other big clubs, so it's that's not the reason.
Oh yeah, plus Mourinho just phased him out, didn't he?
Yeah.
He wasn't playing beforehand.
No, he went because we got offered a lot of money for him. 37.5 is a lot of money for a 25, 26-year-old player. He did really well at Chelsea, but at the same time, watching him at United, I've been so disappointed. I'm not sure if he...
Yeah, no, exact same. Nothing. He's done nothing.
I saw him Swansea game, and he was honestly so bad. He gave away so many passes. He gave away so many balls. His runs was pathetic. He honestly did some runs that were truly pathetic, and I didn't realise this when he was at Chelsea, but his pace is terrible.
Yeah, well,
he's so slow.
Talking about his performance in the United game, if you actually look at it, he was the reason the first goal was scored. Because you look at his position, and he was standing where he shouldn't be. He didn't run back. And then I remember watching the analysis. They even said, look at his reaction when he had his hands in his head, saying, "Fuck, that was me." Yeah,
they had the three players in midfield, didn't they? And they were tracking. And then there was one point where he just got dragged into the ball.
Yeah.
And there was a player free, and he didn't track. He didn't track back. So I think that's the reason Mourinho got rid of him. He's about his defence. Now on to what we think are the best buys of that season. Matic, I've put down. 20. It was quite hard because Chelsea bought some good players, but we did actually spend quite a bit to get them. So it's hard to say what the best buy is, the best value for money. For me personally, like I said, Matic, for 21 mil, in my opinion, he's a world-class centre mid. And when you compare that to Fellaini, 26 mil. Was it 26, 27, something like that?
I think it was 27.5 or something.
Around that margin.
Yeah.
So Fellaini was more, and he plays exactly the same role. And Matic is, in my opinion, the only centre defensive mid that can match Yaya Toure in the league.
Yeah, well, you saw it in the game, didn't you?
Yeah.
Outmuscling him. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I think he's a great player, but I just thought I was trying to sort of look into all different aspects of what's the best buyers. That's why I went for Schwarzer. If anyone came up to me as a football manager and said, "You can have Schwarzer for free," of course I'm going to say yes. He's got the experience, still a great goalie, and it's just you just want to have in the ranks. You think, oh, Czech's out. Let's look at Schwarzer. Even now, if Courtois check, if there's something happens, then he's still got a good keeper to rely on.
Yeah, you've got him, and the matches he played last season, he played really well.
Yeah,
played really well. He played in the semi-final of the Champions League.
Yeah.
So there you are, and he didn't have a bad game at all. let one goal in, I think, and it was a standard goal to let in. And
yeah, I know exactly. You can't blame the keeper for every goal. So.
No, played really well. So moving on to next season then. Predicted finish.
My predicted finish. It's a strange one actually because when I said this, I'm struggling to back it up. But I've said second. I think they're going to do very well, and I know they are the clear favourites. But there's just something about...
Not clear. I wouldn't say clear. We are the favourites.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the favourites. But I don't know. I just something about me. Well, I think City will edge it over Chelsea. I think it's going to be both very high finishes.
2 seasons in a row. I honestly think now that I'm changing my opinion, and I think City are going to be a bit lower.
Yeah.
I think Liverpool now they've got. If they get Balotelli now, him.
Yeah.
And I honestly think I know United lost the first game of the season, but I do think they will be better.
Oh no, so do I. Yeah. But I'm still going to go. I still think maybe if he can correct it, we'll go into the weaknesses in a bit. But they have played sloppy against lower teams. Like Mourinho lost his record to Sunderland.
Yeah, that's shocking.
So I think it's going to be very close. So I think it's going to be a last game of the season decider type thing.
Okay. My predicted finish. I don't know why it says predicted in there. They're going to finish first. Player of the seasons for next season. Now this is, for me. I said at the time when we were doing this. There's probably about 4 I could pick for this. One of them being your choice.
Eden Hazard, and reason again, same reason I picked him for the season just gone. He's going to get goals. I think he's going to have a whole lot more confidence, especially given that number 10 role. He's going to be like, look at me, I'm the man.
He's got players to spin off now as well. Costa and that.
He's now got more experience as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's got an award. It's just he's going to be. Oh, I'm trying to find the word now. Leaking confidence, I suppose.
Oozing.
There we go. Oozing the confidence.
Oozing.
And he was their top scorer last season. I just think he's going to keep growing really until that fateful day where he's going to go to Real Madrid or Barcelona. Yeah, no,
I think he's going to be. Now this is actually something I said to my dad. I think he's going to fill in for Robin.
Having said that, I think he's going to fill in for Ribery.
Rupert just smashed his hand against the desk.
No,
hilarious.
I think him and Ribery are very similar players, and I think Belgium. I don't know what the relationship between Belgian and Germans is, but I always just sort of link them in together. I don't know why, and I think he'll be the replacement for Ribery. To be honest.
Okay. No, that's fair enough. I can see him going to Bayern Munich though. I don't know why.
No, so can I.
I think the wingers at Real Madrid are going to be there for the next few seasons, and he's, in my opinion, he's just not a Barcelona type player. I know he is, but Barcelona like passes on the ball. They like people like to flow the ball quickly, and I think Hazard's very much more of a Bayern Munich style player. I think he's going to go to Munich. But anyway, that's irrelevant. For now, he's at Chelsea. Potential best player of the season. My opinion as well, part based on the match the other day, because I was out, completely gobsmacked with how well he played. Fabregas. But also because I do think he's going to do... Mourinho said the way he controlled the tempo of the game, which he did immaculately. He's in control all the time. When he's getting that ball in the middle, he controlled the pace. There was times, and they showed it again in the analysis, where the ball went into the middle, and then he was that guy that started doing the one touch, passed it around, fantastic movement. I think he's another great player. And a few guys I want to shout out for is Costa. We put him down for top goal scorer.
I just think he's going to be that prolific goal scorer. I mean, even his goal after 17 minutes of being in the Premier League, not a great goal, just smashed it, but he's going to be in those places. He's going to be the man who knows where to be. Yeah. It's like with Ramsey, they say that he's just got an unnatural talent of being in the right place at the right time within that penalty area, and I think Costa's going to have the exact same thing. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Costa last season, if you look at his record, 52 appearances, 36 goals. I think that's incredible. I think it's absolutely outstanding. I think it's a great record to have. And when you actually look at his league performances, 35 appearances, 27 goals. 8 games he's missed a goal on average. So yeah, I think really he's going to have an outstanding season. He's also going to have so much focus on him as well, though. But I think he's a player that will ride that. He'll love it. Yeah. He'll love being the man. Like, I'm the boss. I'm the guys you're relying on. He seems like that kind of guy.
He does.
Almost like a Drogba-esque type guy.
He is, yeah. So, well, actually, while we're on buys, let's move on to buys. Drogba coming in.
You don't like it, do you?
It's weird. I mean, I said I didn't like it. I didn't like it when it first happened. Costa. Drogba left on,
the last touch.
The most lovely moment in my history of Chelsea. He just left on the most perfect moment, and then he came back, and I didn't want it to ruin it. But now when I actually think about it, and they say he's going to take a more coaching role, I do think it will be good, because he will, like I've said many times, put fire in Diego Costa's belly.
Yeah, well, what I said to you the other day actually is this is what I think is going to happen. He's going to have a season, few games, get a few goals, and then retire straight into the management team.
Yeah.
I think he's come back to have a bit of fun, really, have a bit of a kick about, get some goals. He's still a good player. We saw him at Galatasaray.
Well, he played the other day against Burnley. Came on at like 78 minutes.
Don't know where I was at that point, but okay. But yeah, he's going to get a few goals and then straight into the management team, and he's going to be that player that encourages, almost like the talisman on the bench, the sort of club captain type thing. I know he's not the captain, but
no, I know what you mean.
Even his presence will just give them the confidence.
It's just the atmosphere of Didier Drogba. He's the man. He's one of our most famous players, and he was our last great striker. If we look into this now, so he's on his last total for Chelsea, 341 appearances, 157 goals. And the average is not fantastic, but you've got to think that Drogba off the ball was sensational.
Oh yeah, he has all strength really. He has pace off the mark when he needs to, skillful and rocket of a shot.
And he always defended as well.
Yeah.
You know, he was always the guy. And the amount of times I saw Drogba head out a corner and then charge at the pitch was just amazing. And he's a top player. And then we'll move on to Felipe Luis, last buy that we haven't covered. Didn't play the other day. Good player though, from what I've seen of him. I do like him. However, now this is actually a buy that I was excited at first, not keen about now, because Ivanovic is, for me, still a first-team player.
Oh, definitely.
And he's so solid. I don't want to press on it too much, but in my opinion, the Burnley goal was his fault. But I'll move on. It wasn't just his fault, though, because he did the error that ball went out wide. However, I said this to you on the phone, I think. When that cross came in,
no one was looking. Just no one saw that man.
It's not even about that no one picked him up. No one looked.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What you prefer? Just look at. You have a glance at the edge. No one had the glance at the edge of the box, which just amazed me as a football player." But yeah, I understand. As Piliqueta is just playing so well at left back. I mean, what I can see them doing is maybe phasing Ivanovic out a little bit.
Yeah, no, I think he's been linked with a lot of Italian clubs as well. But I still think he's a first team player. I don't really know. I think 100%. Luis was just an incredibly expensive replacement for Cole.
Incredibly, yeah.
But he's not even young. He's not old. I think he's 27 or 26.
28.
He's 28.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. 28. I mean, if you're easing him into the club, you don't do that with a 28-year-old. You do that with a 21-year-old, a 22-year-old. If he's coming into
29,
the club, 29.
Well,
okay.
He's actually only just gone 29.
Yeah, so you're bringing a man in at the age of 29. You've got to sort of get him in there straight away, unless he's not a good player. He's just a rotating player. Fine.
But he's not. He's 20 million. You don't pay 20 mil at 29 for a rotation player. But that's the thing as well. You say, all right, replacement for Cole. How many games did Cole play last season? So we're replacing a guy that played 5 to 10 games last season. What's the point? Azpilicueta was sensational at left back, and I think what we should have done, in my opinion, was keep Thomas Cass, maybe even keep Patrick Van Aanholt, because he's been playing sensational apparently.
Yeah, he's on my dream team for Sunderland.
Yeah, why not keep both of them and have some youth? We didn't need to buy another £20 million player, but whatever. At the end of the day, we've got him, and it's not a bad addition to the club.
Yeah, well, it increases depth. It's always good to have strength and depth.
Still a top player. Sells. So Ashley Cole, he's gone. Roma, free. No, a bit of experience, but it was time he moved on. Eto'o went. I never liked Eto'o, personally, at Chelsea. I think it was... I don't know.
Well, like you said, I mean, he was their most prolific striker, but all his goals were fumbles.
It hit him.
I mean, he got the worst hat-trick I think I've ever seen.
Oh, it really was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Every single one. I think one came off his shin. I think one was like a tapping from at least a foot away from the goal. And what was the other one?
I can't remember the other one, to be honest, but I think it was like a rebound or something, just like get about 10 players before he went in.
Yeah, he's no top player anymore. Don't get me wrong, I have serious respect for him, what he's done in the past. David Luiz, 40 million.
That is definitely a fake laugh.
It was a fake laugh, but also at the same, it's the fakest of all laughs. Yeah.
But no, it is still funny. That's the point we're trying to highlight, especially after that World Cup.
Put 40 million down because we were speculative. A lot of sites say 40 million. Other, it's known as 50 million. I thought it was 50 million euros, around 40 million pounds.
What I thought was 40 million quid, 40 million pounds with, but goes up to 50 million of add-ons. But at the end of the day, overpaid ridiculously, hilarious buy, and he was shit at the World Cup.
Exactly. And one thing as well, to every other fan that said, haha, you did the worst negotiation ever, Matic, Well, what? You paid 21 million. In the end, you traded him for David Luiz. Yeah, well, we then sold him for 40 million. So fuck you all.
John getting a bit aggressive there.
Fuck everyone. Demba Ba, 4.7 million.
Why not?
Why not? And
a bit of money in the pocket.
If anyone saw his shot against Besiktas,
For Besiktas,
sorry, yeah. Yeah, what a strike. And he looked like a monster. He won man of the match.
Yeah, he was a very good player. It was interesting. As soon as he leaves Chelsea, maybe he's like trying to prove a point.
Yeah. Okay, we're busting for time a bit here. It's fine though because
Can't imagine QPR be very long.
No, we didn't watch too much QPR last season. It has to be honest. I did watch a few games, but it's a championship I wasn't watching religiously. So we'll quickly go over these last 2 buys. Actually, won't do too quick actually because Lukaku, that's quite a big one, 28 mil. A lot of people saying that we should have kept him. That's what I've heard, and got rid of Torres. And I think that maybe actually, yeah, but at the same point, he wouldn't have improved and he wouldn't have been happy.
Yeah, the only way you can justify that is Lukaku would have to start. He's a first team player. We saw him at Everton. He was brilliant. And yeah, for himself, he's a young player.
Yeah.
He needs to get first team football. And yeah,
Everton's a big club as well.
Yeah, Everton, they're a big club now. Yeah, what was it? 5th they came last season?
No.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
6th, wasn't it?
Arsenal 4th, Everton 5th.
Oh yeah, no, it was.
6th.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So 5th. Actually, I don't think they'll
top
have
club.
Yeah, it is. But it's not even any Premier League club is a top club, to be honest.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be starting for one of the best in it. So yeah, hats off to him. Fair play. Frank Lampard, New York City. I'm not putting City down there. He doesn't play for City. He went to New York City. Manchester City have kept him for the first half of the season to get fit, to train with the first team squad because the MLS doesn't start till February, I believe. And yeah, he's going to be coming back 2 years' time, I think, to do management.
Yeah.
And Mourinho said he's still a Chelsea player. He can be ambassador, CEO of this club if he wants to be. He always has the door open for him here. He's not left. This is just the last stage of his playing career.
Yeah, exactly. Why not sit down in America for 2 years, get a nice house, just live, and have fun with the family, and then come back and do your long-term job for the future.
Exactly.
I think it's a smart move on his part, really.
Yeah, same. But he doesn't play for Man City.
I'm going to buy the shirt and wear it in front of you.
I'm going to punch you. The strengths. Depth in squad. We've sort of mentioned this already.
Yeah, well...
But, it's just incredible. Schürrle, Willian, Hazard, Oscar. I mean, when you think about the players we've loaned out as well, Lucas Piazon, Thorgan Hazard, Christian Atsu, seriously good Marco Marin, some top players that I think could play first team for a Premier League club. Not for Chelsea, but for a Premier League,
no, definitely. I mean, it's almost a bad thing, really. Like you're saying, Willian could get phased out. Like you said, Schürrle, great World Cup, buy Willian sort of thing. Although, to be wrong though, I thought Schürrle was brilliant on the Burnley game as well, really.
Yeah, he
Run
was.
up and down, and so many shots.
His
great
runs,
goal as well.
His runs behind the defence, his running is so good. That's what made that second goal, which was the best goal so far, and probably will be the best team goal you'll see because we're awesome. Moving on to high-quality manager and players, that's something that we need to mention. So when you've got a group of players that, squad size of Chelsea, and then you've also got a manager such as Mourinho, it's like the perfect formula, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, exactly. They gel well. There's nothing better for a manager to have good players, and it's nothing better for the players to have a good manager. It just all fits, and it's going to perform a good result. It's going to be a good season. Just not much really needs to be said on that.
No.
It's said there, high-quality manager and players.
A beer and a fag. You can't go wrong.
Unless you don't smoke or drink.
Then you can go wrong.
Yes.
Consistent defence. Now, this is something that we want to acknowledge, but it's part of, obviously, that we let in the least amount of goals last season. You've got a player like Terry, who is, with United losing a lot of their experience, questionably one of the best defenders in the league. Obviously, you've got Company as well, I understand that. But yeah, Cahill's rising up, and then you've got Ivanovic, whatever. We've gone over the defence a lot. Consistent defence, it's always a strength. Weaknesses, like we mentioned earlier, again, sloppiness against lower league teams. 1-0 against 2-1, sorry. 1-0, 2-1.
I think it was 2-1, yeah.
It was by one goal anyway. Lost that, and that's where we lost last season. We lost to Norwich away, I believe, and I think Palace away as well. So
John Terry and goal.
Yeah, so we lost some bad games last season away, and I think that's where we need to move on. Part of the bus we put in there, because we saw it against the Burnley game again, where we went 3-1 up, and we honestly were playing some of the best football I've seen Chelsea play. And then we came out in the second half, and we're just our old selves. We just parked the bus. Yeah, we were in control. We assured the win. We got the W on the sheet, but
it can backfire though, because if the other team comes out stronger, you let in 1, maybe 2 goals, you sort of shaken up. You're like, okay, now we need to get back to the mentality we had before, and that it could be too late by then. Like for example, Liverpool with that Crystal Palace 3-0. I don't know if I can't remember it all that well. But saying they parked the bus, but then as soon as these goals were being banged in, there's like, where do we get this energy from? Where do we, we're not playing off any form. We've stopped. We're slowing down. We can't just all of a sudden, boom, get straight back out there.
Yeah.
And that's just always a risk with parking the bus.
No, agreed. Good point, well made. All right, let's move on to QPR now then. I'll let you kickstart it, Roops, because I think I was chatting a bit with Chelsea. I get carried away. So, last season.
Okay, well, came 4th, which is interesting for me, really, because I thought Harry Redknapp, great manager, they're going to win it straight up. And then they did get promoted through the playoffs, so well done.
Both watched that game. Undeserving.
Yeah, no, Derby definitely for me should have gone through. I feel sorry for them. In terms of their form, we actually laughed at this because this is quite shocking.
Yeah, it really is. It's worse than I thought.
12 losses for a promoting top 3 side.
And even 11 draws. It's not like they had a loss. It's really shocking when you look at that. Plus 16 goal difference.
They only won half their games. That's just not something you'd expect.
Nah, not from a side that's getting promoted. It really did surprise us.
And then it gets worse with the goal difference. Plus 16. That is shocking.
460, which isn't great, and against 44. For a team that's getting promoted, I really do think they're going to struggle. I mean, I've actually put 18th, so they're getting relegated, but I think they're going to struggle this season. Letting that amount of goals into the Championship, it's going to get absolutely destroyed in the Prem.
It's also the scoring as well. I mean, look at their away form. Goal difference of -4. They're in a minus.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Well, let's move on to that, actually. The biggest win was 5-2 against Notts Forest.
Amongst 1-0s everywhere else.
Yeah, it was so that's a 3-goal they won by, and I think there was 2 other 3-0s.
I was thinking a 3-0 and a 3-1, and then it was all just 1-0s.
1-0s, 2-1s, the odd 2-0. It was so poor. And there's so many 1-0 losses, 2-1 losses, 3-1 losses. It's really, really quite a poor season from the looks of things. Obviously, we can't comment too much on the matches. Like we said, we've watched a few, but not many. Moving on to the players, Charlie Austin.
Yeah, so top scorer, our pundit pick because he was the top scorer, player of the season because he was the top scorer. Enough said. Most apps, Robert Green. Can you expect anything else? It's usually the goalkeeper.
Apart from for Chelsea, which was Branislav Ivanovic.
Oh yeah, interesting enough.
That. But yeah, biggest buy
Charlie Austin,
undisclosed fee there. Biggest sell, the old Samba Bamba Lamba.
Fun fact for you about Samba.
Hit me.
Apparently, I think it was 2012, 2011. They did statistics of the fastest player, just a straight sprint without ball, and it was Samba. My source could have been lying, but I just thought it's worth a mention.
Samba.
He's big, he's black, he's probably quite fast.
Don't get me wrong, he is big and black and probably quite fast. At the same time, there's other big black guys that are fast.
Yeah. Anyway, enough said on that. And then best buy, Charlie Austin.
Yeah, we put Charlie Austin in there. So predicted finishes. The old Rupee Poops think they're going to stay up.
Well, the reason is because, my original thinking behind it was because of Harry Redknapp, great manager, had him at Portsmouth, thought he was pretty good until he ruined us. But yeah, that was all I thought. Yeah, there's not really the talent in the team. I mean, he's made some good buys, which is yet to be spoken about.
So I think it's weird. I do think that they've actually got a fair bit of talent on their side. I actually think their squad, if you compare it to Burnley's or probably not Leicester's, I think Leicester have got a nice squad this season, but Burnley's especially, I think they've got a much better season than them. Squad, sorry, and a much better season ahead of them.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I mean, the thing is, it's just I think Redknapp, he's not the issue, so it must be the team chemistry. There's something going wrong there, which isn't obviously apparent to me.
Yeah.
But so I think it's going to be a struggle. I'm not solidly saying 17th. I think they're just as likely to go down, so they'll stay up. And if they do stay up, it's going to be a low finish.
Oh, yeah. No, I'd agree. 17th, 18th. Like I said, it's 18th for me. I do think they will get relegated. I think it will be them, Burnley, and I don't know.
Yeah, Burnley definitely for me.
I do think Leicester will stay up. So I think Burnley, when watching them play Chelsea the other day, much better than QPR. What I've seen of them, much better. I think Burnley will beat QPR this season. Automatic promotion last season, ahead of QPR.
Yeah, true.
I do think that they're a better side, to be honest. But all right, we'll move on because we can't stay on this too long. Player of the season / top goal scorer. Just cover them quickly because you put down the old Isla.
Well, I just thought I have no idea why he's at QPR. I'm guessing money. The only reason I just think.
What is his wage? Do you know?
No, I think I know that Ferdinand has the highest wage. Had it when he joined, which was I think 80,000. But
don't deserve it.
Yeah. The reason I went for Isla, however you say it, he's been a regular at a top club for some time.
Yeah.
And I think he's just, out of all the players, he's going to shine.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think he's a very good player, and as far as an addition for a squad like this goes, that's a mid-table type of signing, really.
Exactly.
I could see sort of Southampton or even above them in my eyes.
Yeah, exactly. No, I totally agree. I think I could even see teams like Arsenal having him. Maybe not that sort of team. I don't think he fits the team.
Nah, Everton.
But yeah,
Tottenham.
just big clubs who maybe have him as depth or a star, like you said.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, moving on to the transfers in. So we covered Isla. Now we got Vargas on loan as well. A player that I have liked in the past. However, I have heard, and I've actually looked into it, his form has dipped in the past few seasons. Now, he did used to be quite good, Eduardo Vargas.
Yeah, well, when he was at Napoli, don't think he's there anymore, is he?
No, he went, no.
But, yeah, he was good. I remember he was the sort of, he was shit hot. He was the one to look into.
Lavezzi.
Yeah, it was just, he was the demon, the young striker. And then, yeah, like exactly you said, I haven't heard anything about him until now again, really.
No, I mean, obviously it's going to be a bonus, though. Like we said before, if he's just had that experience at Napoli and places like that, he's always going to be a good addition to a squad. Jordan Much, 6 million. I think that's a good signing.
Yeah, young. He's had some experience in the champ.
English.
Always like an English buy in an English league.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, I think he'd be good. He's young. He'll develop under Harry Redknapp, and I think he fits in straight away.
Yeah, and also staying with the midfielders, Leroy Fer, 8 million.
Again, I think it's weird actually, because I thought before he went to Norwich, good little player, sort of got lost at Norwich really. I mean, I don't think it was the right club for him to fit into.
No, it wasn't.
And I think this could be the right club for him to fit into again.
Yeah.
I think Harry Redknapp's always had that ability to bring the best out in his youth and make a team.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree. He's done well, but the thing with Leroy Fer is that he's got the sort of skills, and obviously not as developed, to be a Yaya Toure type of player. That strong defensive player that can push forward, have shots on goal and stuff. However, when I saw him playing for Norwich, and from how they want to put him in the team in QPR, from my understanding anyway, they're going to play him really, really quite deep. And I don't know. I don't think he's best used there. That's where he was used for Norwich and didn't really shine for them.
Exactly. I think he could even be more of an attacking player. He's got a bit of flair to him.
That's what I mean. More of a Toure, like maybe not an attacking mid, but in just a holding mid, where he's got he's allowed to move up forward.
Yeah, exactly. He's got that sort of incentive to push forward and get goals. Fun fact for you quickly about Fer. I know I've whipped out a few over the past few videos. Is that source in the newspaper actually? It was even in, I think it was the Guardian or something, saying about interesting facts about players. Apparently Leroy Fer bought his girlfriend a horse.
Okay. But
she had to not accept it, as it were. They had to give it back because she lives in a flat. So that's quite interesting from Leroy Fer. But
what a knob!
Football intelligence, isn't it?
Couldn't she keep it at stables or something like that?
Maybe you could only afford the horse.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, they're not cheap.
No, they're the opposite of cheap. Expensive.
Just to clarify, that is expensive.
That is expensive for any of our northern listeners. So moving on, defence: Rio Ferdinand, Stephen Corker. How about them apples?
Well, them apples indeed. Rio Ferdinand.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. I don't like him. He's
a weirdo, isn't
he? Yeah. Love the difference between my fence and yours. I can't remember what I said now. He's a weirdo. He's a twat.
He's just straight up twat.
Yeah.
Stephen Corker. I think that's a good buy. I do like Stephen Corker. Always have liked him. I think 8 million, you can't go too wrong. He's a good player. He's always going to strengthen your squad, and the fact that QPR, in my opinion, looking towards last season again, we're going to refer to the amount of goals they let in, their poor goal difference, the amount of games they actually lost throughout the season. They need to improve defence, and I think that can't be a bad buy to get someone that is experienced in defence in the Premier League for the lower league clubs.
Only thing I would say, jump in there, is that actually I think after their first 2 games in the Premier League, they conceded 5 goals.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
Was it 4-0 against Tottenham and 1-0 against Hull? So yeah.
No, it's not. Don't get me wrong. It's not brilliant, but it's an improvement.
Oh yeah, well yeah, from last season.
That's what I'm saying. Like if they had continued their squad in last season, I mean, again, I'm just seriously looking at these stats and they're just so poor.
Yeah.
But moving on to the sales, I mean, to be honest, I'm not going to actually sit on these too much because Granero wasn't at the club last season anyway. He was out on loan, and Bia, he's been released into the wild. Oh, why have I put that? He's been released in the wild, and I don't know where he's gone. I heard a rumour that he's gone to the Saudi Arabian League.
And by what no way is us referring to Saudi Arabia as the wild. I think that's just
no.
John's desperate struggle for a bit of humour.
I think it was very.
But he's been released.
He has been released. And then obviously Julio Cesar, which is a shame to see him go. I'm kind of glad because
it never made sense. I looked at that score and it just didn't feel right, especially after he had it until the 7-1. Yeah. He did have a good World Cup.
He did, yeah. He had a brilliant World Cup. Actually.
And to be fair, you can't even blame him for that.
No, that was just the most hilarious and embarrassing defending. Actually, there we are. QPR last season would have been better. It was just shocking defending. I've never seen worse defending in my life. Honestly, in my life. Anyway, we're not here to talk about the World Cup. So strengths. I mean, we talked about the good signings. Experience. They do have experience on their side. Joey Barton, who I've actually been looking at recently. Yeah, he's good.
No, I've always
good
thought he was
passer
a
of
good
the
player.
ball, good strike. He's aggressive and he's more experienced now. He's settling. He's not punching his teammates or mooneying the ref. He's behaving himself. And obviously with Rio Ferdinand coming in, that's good as well. Looking at the weaknesses.
Yeah, so we put lack of depth for Premier League, which is true. I think we say they've got such a good Championship squad. I mean, whenever I look on FIFA, for example, or even just at the squad in general, such a Championship squad. They have all the players like Morrison. What's his name?
Hoyler. They got Hoyler.
Yeah. I can't remember his name. The other Ince. I know his last name isn't Ince, but Phillips. That's it, Matty Phillips.
Yeah,
It's just they're the best Championship squad. I just don't think that there's such a big step up. I just don't think they've got the depth now. He's trying to sign players, and he's signed the right players.
Yeah, it's strange how it hasn't gelled.
Yeah.
And then really, it's their poor form. It's that they don't score goals. Looking at last season,
no, -4.
Yeah, I mean Charlie Austin. If you really take away his 17 goals, which isn't still a huge amount, but take away his 17 goals that he got in the Championship, they're left with 43 goals in the Premiership. Just wouldn't cut it. They wouldn't be able to even survive, barely past relegation. Do excuse me if you heard the door there. Mother was just collecting something. And then if we look at the poor away form as well, they had a shocking away form. 8 wins, 5 draws, 10 losses, -4 goal difference.
Yeah, so anyway, with those stats in the Champ, is it going to work in the Prem? I think not. I think we can safely say work needs to be done.
I think my predicted finish as well. We can't change it now, it's on there. But I think I would change it now to 20th, 19th.
I think I'd drop mine to 18th. But anyway, they're similar positions. We never, our prediction's never solid.
No.
We've never really stuck by them hugely. But it's a rough guideline.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll leave that there. Next week we will try and do the Liverpool-Everton one. Now that Everton seems to have finalised a few more signings, and Liverpool have now got Balotelli.
Yeah, which is fun to talk about.
Yeah, it will be fun. We'll see you guys next week.